Good evening, everyone. Please join me in thanking the University organist, Annette Kirk. Welcome, Kaya. My name is Professor Cara McNish and I'm the Chair of the Academic Board, the peak academic body of the University. I'm here to tell you a little about the graduation ceremony, its history, the people involved, and how this evening's events will proceed. Before proceedings commence, could I please request that your mobile telephones are turned down or off, and advise that should an emergency occur in the venue, we'll take our lead from the theatre staff. On behalf of all my university colleagues, I'm delighted to welcome you all, both here and in the Octagon, to this evening's graduation ceremony. To begin, I'd like to acknowledge that our ceremony tonight takes place on Whadjuk Budja, the country of the Noongar people, and pay my respects to Noongar elders past, present and emerging, as custodians of the historic place on which we meet. Today's graduation ceremony is also a traditional celebration of the university. UWA takes great pride in its history, having enrolled its first students over 100 years ago. However, our roots are deeply embedded in the academic values and traditions that for many centuries have given rise to the world's finest universities. The traditional nature of our graduation ceremony serves to highlight this enduring connection with our heritage. As has been the case in universities across the globe throughout the centuries, the ceremony will begin with the academic procession. This procession comprises graduate scholars, academics, and office bearers of the university attired in their formal academic regalia. UWA is very much an international institution, and our academic staff come from universities from a wide variety of countries and cultures. So in this evening's procession, you will see a varied and often colourful array of regalia from around the world. The procession will be led by our graduating students, followed by academic staff in order of seniority. At the end of the procession will come the principal officers of the university, members of the university's governing body, the Senate, and our distinguished guests. The final figure in the procession will be the Chancellor of the University, the Honourable Robert French AC, who is immediately preceded by the mace bearer. The mace will be carried by a current student and is a symbolic representation of the authority vested in the Chancellor, who is Chair of the University's Senate. After the National Anthem, the Chancellor will formally welcome all graduands and guests and guide us through the ceremony. During the ceremony, there will be a short musical interlude performed by students from the UWA School of Music. You will, I believe, find much to interest you during this evening's proceedings, but of course the main reason you have come is to witness the graduation of our scholars. And I hope you will all join with my colleagues and me in warmly congratulating each scholar who comes onto this stage to have their degree conferred. And while it is an historic setting, it is also a celebration, and I invite you to express your enthusiasm wholeheartedly as our graduates are awarded their degrees. And I'll let you in on a little secret, we don't mind a little bit of whispering and hollering. There will be a professional video and photographs of the ceremony and professional photographers waiting downstairs, but please do feel free to stand where you are to capture your own special images of the moment. Now, would you please all rise to your feet so that the arrival of the academic procession can commence. Thank you.
Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen. Members of the University Senate, distinguished guests, graduands, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to welcome you to our 12th autumn graduation ceremony. I particularly wish to acknowledge the presence today of Dr. Margaret Byrne, who will deliver the graduation address, Mr. Sean Lee, who will deliver the valedictory address, the Warden of Convocation, Dr. Doug McGee, members of Senate and the former Chancellor's medal recipient, Mrs. Annette Girk. Before we proceed further, the University of Western Australia acknowledges as a matter of practice the custodians and traditional owners of the land on which any of its campuses are located. At this main campus at Crawley, the University acknowledges the Whadjuk Noongar people as the traditional owners of the land on which it is situated. The Whadjuk Noongar remain the spiritual and cultural custodians of their land and continue to practice their values, languages, beliefs and knowledge. This evening we share in a ceremony which is deeply rooted in the history and tradition of universities in this country and around the world. It marks the formal recognition by the university of the achievements of its graduands in meeting the standards and requirements of the various courses of study and research which they have undertaken over a number of years. The ceremony joins them with members of the academic staff who have taught them or supervised their work, and with representatives of the Convocation of the University, which is part of the University and which, as graduates, they join. The ceremony also brings them together with parents, friends and other relatives who have supported them in their work, share intimately in their achievements and are especially welcome tonight. The University has a long history of achievement and excellence in teaching and research and engagement with the wider community for the benefit of the state, the nation and indeed the global community of which we are all part. It was established, in the words of the University of Western Australia Act in 1911, to advance the prosperity and welfare of the people. It was the product of the vision and energy and commitment of extraordinary individuals who founded it and who were its benefactors. Its achievements are the achievements of its people. Those who teach and research here, those who govern and administer the university, and the alumni who go from this place to make their contributions in a variety of different ways. The degree with which you leave this place tonight is a degree from the University of Western Australia, which is one of Australia's leading universities and, according to international rankings, one of the world's leading universities. Each of you who graduate tonight will be presented with a Noongar message stick, carrying with it the story of this place. According to Indigenous beliefs, tribal boundaries were established by the great spirits of the Dreamtime. No human had the right to interfere with those boundaries or to venture onto others' tribal land. The bearer of a message stick could cross those boundaries. They were traditional passports from one nation to another in Indigenous Australia, and they are seen as carrying the stories of Indigenous people across the land. So in a symbolic way, we entrust the story of this place to you to carry it into the world. The gift symbolises a permanent connection expressed in the timeless language of the Noongar people. For all of you, I express the hope that the knowledge and skills you have acquired at this university will enable you to follow the lifelong path reflected in its motto, to seek wisdom and to apply it for the good of all. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now my pleasure to invite the Deputy Vice-Chancellor Education, Professor David Sadler, to give a brief opening address to tonight's graduates and their guests.
Chancellor. Graduands, parents, partners, friends of the university, congratulations. It is my privilege to congratulate you on behalf of the University of Western Australia Tonight's ceremony is an opportunity for all of us, graduating students, parents, friends and staff, to formally recognise and celebrate your outstanding achievement in graduating from UWA. As you will no doubt be feeling, graduation is a culmination of many years of hard work, and I hope you will remember your time as a UWA student with pride, excitement and accomplishment. During your time here, you will have enjoyed moments of great joy and satisfaction, as well as endured setbacks and challenges. The disciplines that you have chosen to immerse yourself in have unique opportunities and experiences which will significantly prepare you for your future at many levels. You should feel a great sense of pride at how these years of persistence and resilience have paid off as you sit in this beautiful hall with your fellow graduates, surrounded by your loved ones, to celebrate and to look into the future with ambition and with purpose. We have provided you with something greater than a world-class education. Being a student is much more than providing you with access to academic excellence. I hope that you found time as a UWA student to become involved in the many facets of campus life: clubs, societies, overseas exchange programs, work experiential learning or community internships, for example. All such experiences have offered you an opportunity to further develop your skills and to prepare you for the future. Our graduates have been making a difference at a local, national and international level for more than 100 years. But of course, so much has changed during this time, and our graduates are now emerging into a rapidly changing world. In science, one of our graduates went on to pursue an unusual career in sleep science, investigating the relationship between sleep for recovery and performance in elite athletes. He has worked with the Australian Institute of Sport, with athletes from combat sports, our local rugby union team, the Western Force, and the Perth Lynx basketball team. A major recommendation from a study with the Perth Lynx was that the team's training sessions could be held in the afternoons, better suiting the circadian rhythms of most of the athletes. You should feel confident that you are well prepared to take your place in a highly competitive working environment. You have mastered subject matter, concepts and techniques, and acquired the skills that equip you for lifelong learning. We find ourselves today in a period of disruption, turbulence and global uncertainty. There is much conjecture about our future world, including what the jobs and the careers of the future will look like. You are also graduating at a time when the rise of populism has spawned terms such as fake news, alternative facts, and post-truth. Globalism has brought many opportunities and provided us with areas for critical debate and intelligent dialogue. But this is why knowledge and its application to societal issues has never been more important. I urge you to use the knowledge and skills you have learned, especially the power of critical thinking, to rally against fake news and demonstrate that knowledge, facts, and evidence matter. Some commentators suggest that our graduates of the future are likely to have 5 careers and up to 17 jobs, and that 40% of the jobs that we currently understand will not be there in the future, perhaps not disappearing, but fundamentally changing. So you will be creating that future and the opportunities for others in that future. And we hope that your UWA degree will empower you and equip you to succeed in a career of your choosing. And that's possibly a career that's not even yet created. Each of you has the capacity to make a difference to our society, whether it be through some major scientific or engineering breakthrough, through the arts or through business innovation. But just as importantly, you have developed the capacity to embrace change, to provide innovative solutions and to question and be open to new ideas and possibilities. This is the exciting time for you, a time to rise to the challenge of what comes next. In fact, many of our graduates here tonight are already making their mark, having achieved great things during their time at UWA. During last year, several of our graduates were recognised with awards and honours for their important achievements in science, and the faculty awarded a total of 258 prizes and scholarships last year. That's an incredible achievement. Your faculty also had 88 students take part in study abroad programmes in universities around the world. And what a wonderful way to get some international experience and combine it with your education. I'd now like to share with you a quote from Michael Dell, CEO and founder of Dell Technologies, one of the world's largest technology infrastructure companies. He says, "As you start your journey, the first thing you should do is throw away that store-bought map and begin to draw your own." I think that's been my message through this talk. I am delighted that you chose to study at this university. And for those of you that are leaving now, it is of course sad, but this is not farewell because you will always be part of the UWA community. You will always be welcome here, and we will do our best to support you throughout your career. In turn, I hope you will stay connected and become an active alumni member. What makes UWA special and unique is that when the university was established, our founders placed great importance on building a community of graduates. Convocation exists to ensure all graduates have a lifelong connection to this university. Graduands, your hard work and dedication have led you to this moment, and whatever your journey leads from here, you should be very proud of your achievements. This is your night. Enjoy it. Congratulations to you all. It is now my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Margaret Byrne. Dr. Byrne is Executive Director, Biodiversity and Conservation Science in the Department of Biodiversity, Conservation and Attractions, where she is responsible for the integration of science policy and on-ground management for biodiversity conservation. She is recognised as a leading biological scientist whose plant genetics research informs conservation strategies for rare and threatened plants, and sits on the advisory boards of numerous state and national science initiatives. Please welcome Dr. Margaret Byrne.
Thank you, Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor and Member of the Senate, for the opportunity to address your new graduates this evening. It's a pleasure to be here and to celebrate their achievements with you. It is indeed wonderful to see so many of you here this evening with your family and friends and your staff members who have assisted you to celebrate gaining your degrees. Graduation is indeed a wonderful achievement. And I know for some of you it may have been relatively easy, and for others you may have had to overcome many challenges. The effort and the tenacity that you've shown to achieve this goal will definitely stand you in good stead throughout your future endeavours. And it's great to see science graduates across the fields of science we have tonight, and I do feel particular affinity with the genetics majors here. As the Deputy Vice-Chancellor mentioned, I'm a plant geneticist and have done my PhD in genetics here at UWA, and very proud to be a graduate of this university. Then, as it is now, it was a time of great advances. I undertook my honours project just after Sir Alex Jeffreys, the esteemed British geneticist, had published his groundbreaking work on development and application of human mini-satellites that became the basis for DNA fingerprinting and that has revolutionised forensics. You may have seen the television film that aired on ABC last year that told this story. Code of a Killer was what it's called, if you get the chance to look it up and look at it again. It's a fantastic story that demonstrates how general scientific investigation, what has become known as pure science, can lead to applications that become major changing points in fields of endeavour. Sir Alex Jeffreys did not set out to discover DNA fingerprinting, but he recognised it when he saw it, what he called his eureka moment. And the rapid uptake and application of this innovation came about from the partnering of a police officer investigating 2 murders with a scientist who had developed the means of individual identification. And together they convinced their superiors to use this new tool, DNA fingerprinting, as a tool in the murder cases that were being investigated. They first were able to show that DNA could be taken from a crime scene, and then show that the main suspect was not actually the killer, and then to identify the real murderer. And to me, it highlights the value of collaboration and partnerships that are critical in our scientific endeavours now, and that enable application of science to so many areas within society. Since those early days that used what is now considered to be very old-fashioned technology, there have been a range of technical advances. And of course, we now have genomics technologies that are revolutionising the many fields that use genetics to achieve their outcomes. And I'm sure you've heard of the somewhat contentious gene drive technology that shows tremendous potential to achieve great advances across health, agriculture, and the environment. We do indeed live in times of much change, and I think the younger ones amongst us have grown up with this fast pace of change that some of us who are a little older might prefer that it actually slowed down a little. But you will see lots of change still throughout your careers. But what stays constant is the ability to use the skills you have learned and the knowledge that you've gained from your time here at UWA. Scientific skills are highly valuable life skills. The capacity for investigation, evaluation, analysis, and interpretation will serve you well in your careers and in your non-working life. And so while I have seen much change in the technologies that we use over the years, the skills that I and my colleagues use now have not really changed. Regardless of the technology, our scientific skills of inquiry and evaluation that we gained through our time at university are what we still use to identify questions and knowledge gaps, to design approaches to address them, and to interpret results that then lead to the advances for the benefit of society. Your education gives you options. And apart from giving you the option of a well-paid job, which I'm sure you're all hoping for, it gives you options to make a difference in our world, to make our society a better place. And I do encourage you to give back to society, both through your paid work and, I hope, through the many other ways in which you will engage. Make a difference. That is what your science education enables you to do. A scientific mind is a fantastic gift. So use it to its fullest and use it to make your contribution to society. There are many directions in which your career may take you and many pathways that you might follow. And when you look around you, it may seem that most people have careers that are planned. But in reality, most people do not have careers that are planned. When I was sitting here at my graduation ceremony, I had no idea that I would end up leading a team of great scientists and using science to make a difference in conservation, in policy, and in government decision-making. And my career was not planned. But I did take the opportunities that presented themselves in a myriad of ways. And of course, the trick is to recognise the opportunities when they present themselves, because they do not always come with a sign that says, or a label saying, career opportunity here. Wherever your career takes you, remember that your knowledge and the skills that you've gained are the means by which you will make a difference and contribute to the advances in our world. Most of all, I hope that you enjoy your career as much as I have enjoyed mine, and that you find a niche whereby you look forward to going to work every day. To borrow from the university's current renewal program, be inspired. As you move on from today, be inspired to make a difference by using your science education for the benefit of our society. You don't know yet what marvellous things you will achieve. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Byrne.
I think you will agree that Dr. Byrne's address is a fitting introduction to the primary purpose of this ceremony, which is to confer upon graduates degrees of the university in recognition of their academic achievements. My name is Tony O'Donnell, and I'm Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Executive Dean of the Faculty of Science. It is my pleasure to present graduates to the Chancellor for the conferral of the degree of Bachelor of this university. Tonight I will be presenting graduates in two groups separated by a musical interlude. Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Science with a major in Anatomy and Human Biology, Brittany Grace Allison. Jasmine Eunice Zalameda Bacusmo. Amelia Charlotte Beattie. Ashwini Bhatt. Vikas Bhatt. Lava Bilbas. Nicole Grace Birrell. Nathan Jacob Brower. Ruchira Chakraborty. Ellen Jane Chapman. Amy Ruth Cohen. Liam James Crank. Chloe Stephanie De Leon. Paris Bree Elphick. Shan Keeley Fitzpatrick. Stephanie Jane Fletcher. Anthony Christian Gielens. Gabriela Guizo-Dri. Ella Jade Guthridge. Timothy Yen C. Han. Kayla Nicole Harvey. Kirsten Lee Harvey. Elsa Valerie Wedalo de Faubreville. Ruhula Jafari. Sarah Elizabeth Jago. Kinjal Jivan. Jack Anthony George Johnson. Elena Kagi. Sarah Marie Keo. Julia Louise Knight. Kelsey Nicole Lawson. Tammy Danby Lee. Amy May Liebricks. Lim Jean Clyde, Chintani Kumari Madika Sekera, Monica Jessica Magia, Louisa May Grace Mazzarolo, Cody Baxter Melvin, Charlene Candice Murray, Christopher J. Brendan Morley, Jessica Elaine Ogilvie, Shireen Kaur Pandya, William James Clark Pascoe, Shivani Patel, Rain David Plan, Gabriela Francesca Poga, Summer Jasmine Porter, Hannah Louise Ray, Elise Georgia Reed, Kyle Floyd Robinson, Tanika Marie Rutherford, Bailey Claire Smith, Lauren Jane Stewart Hill, Alexander James Stutley, Justin Robert Taheri Shivers, Ka Wiang Tam, Hannah Susan Thompson, Dalena Nyok Han Vo, Marcus Windsor Rao Vula, Charlotte Rose Ward, Kate Ashley Wardle Johnson, Grace Alexandra Warden, Beth Weston, Emily Joanna Wishart, Courtney Jenna Zogby, for the degree of Bachelor of Science with a major in Biomedical Science, Michelle Louise Bengtson. Christian Basilio Benino, Simran Preet Bala, Chan Adrian Chung Heng, Yating Chen, Winston Chung San, Christian Daniel D'Ambrogio, Diana Jogic, Gerard Matthew Ferreira, Fu Ji Ki Mabel, Chelsea Renee Harbin, Joshua Ryan Hardy, Alexander Ronald Timothy Horley, Hayden Sinclair Hunt, Sophia Hunter, Shannon Jade Huntingford, Kamaro Shahiran bin Kamaro Zaman, Caitlin Mary Kay, Ka Hong Lee, Abigail Lewis, Matthew Thomas Mann, Alex Simone Martin, Lauren Ashley Metham, Annie Laura Miller, Connor Dean Mortlock, Samuel Charles Neve, Mustariha Ahmed Noor, Ashley Ellen Oates, Isaac Arthur Taylor, Matthew Augustine Thomas, Jason Tu, Jacinta Rose Tufnell, Jody Vong, Natasha Jade Waldorf, Oliver Lee Whelan, for the degree of Bachelor of Science with a major in Exercise and Health, Amy Louise Evans, Mark Peter Inglis, Rory Kenneth John Stewart, for the degree of Bachelor of Science with a major in Genetics, Megan Fiona Baxter, Natalie Michelle Edwards, Michael Paul Hooper, Kelly Leanne Irving, Lachlan Aubrey Marie, Jacob Ian Marsh, Joyce Rodrigo Medrano, Benita Marie Milicic, Ming Min Ong, Larissa Marie Fiona Opperman, William James Wall Thomas, for the degree of Bachelor of Science with a major in Pharmacology, Xin Ji Tan, and Stephanie Min Tran.
The university is very proud of its Conservatorium of Music and the performance standard of its students. I now have great pleasure in introducing a brief musical interlude by members of Con Cantorum, one of the UWA vocal ensembles, who will be performing Waltzing Matilda.
Kalara mali patangayanagin karo watayara bitayala marungyala rutumbilua 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 kalara waltzing Matilda, a waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, a waltzing jump the flag and gravity marungyala rutumbilua kalara waltzing Matilda with karo watayara bitayala marungyala rutumbilua Matilda with me. Whoa, you come and waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, waltzing with me. Whoa, come and waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda,
Thank you again to Con Cantorum.
It is my pleasure now to present graduates to the Chancellor for conferral of the degree of Bachelor of this University. Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Science with a major in Physiology, Mariska Ackerman. Masood Ahmadzad. Connor Michael Augustin. Sonia Catherine Barkovich. Emily Ruth Barrett. Georgia Rose Basson. Michelle Amponsa Bediako. Joshua Nishan Bego. Jane Claire Louise Bleschenden. Karis Marie Bogdanov. E. Kiet Nicholas Chan. Ashley Leanne Chandra. Deepash Dat Charanjit Singh Dat. Chia Chen Chiang. Christabel Judith Cole. Sarah Ashley Cox. Melissa Erin De Silva. Dominic George Daines. Jacqueline Perry Damargo. Davina Orpi Teresa Dodu. Henry Dovan. Usama Mohammed Hassan Farah. Serena Marie Fernando. Madison Rose Francis. Claire Bridget Galati. Devamina Chandu Dharmante Gamanpila. Donna Renee Gossati. Catherine Go. Sally Hung Thi Ha. Heidi Sarah Harliman, Ruchira Nethmal Jayasena, Jack Oscar Calotas, Chansa Theodore Columba, Sugarika Kaushal, Chelsea Claire Kelly, Satya Sangeethan Krishnasivam, T.T. Hemant Kulkarni, Darren Kaiji Lau, Sean Jun Zhao Lee, Nicholas Lim, Wei Juan Lo, Prayas Mahapatra, Alexandra Markovic, Daniel Ajibu Matabishi, Megan Natasha King Mathers, Mitchell John MacArthur, Anastasia Catherine Dorina Morahan, Helen Mehung T. Nguyen, Helen Tao Nguyen, Samuel Peter Nunn, Kira Hope O'Grady, Alana Jane Patterson, Nicola Ann Principe, Tian Chi Ren, Grace Louise Royce, Lauren Michaela Saba, Shivangi Sahu, Payal Kunta Shah, Patrick Wangji Shen, Sophie Jane Sparks, Mara Louise Sticker, Sai Archie Sundar S. Asen, Riley Kian Chun Tan, Nathania Abigail Tanoto, Samantha Elizabeth Tapper. Caitlin Mary Taylor. Oliver Colin Taylor. Aisha Abarunessa Narendran Teva. Yok Jiatong. Richard Yit Han Tien. Zi Jing To. Wei Ming Wang. Jacinta Joy Whitty. Song An Andrew Yan. Christy C. Min Yip. Kartika Karana Zhuang. For the degree of Bachelor of Science was a major in Sports Science, Luke A.G. Hamish Hugo Bigwood. Jennifer Anna Boer. Jean Willis Brits. Taylor Jade Campbell. Chan Lee Young. Ashley Rose Cull. Vishan Yatish Devchand. Fazlin Binti Mohammed Fazuli. Claire Elizabeth Garneau. Andriana Paris Gianotti. Jamie Ann Harkin. Ramis Hassan. Emily Louise Higgs. Derek Ho Sui Xiang. Amy Beverly Holdsworth. Ivan Yeftic. Sophie Alma Regina Jones. Jeremy Philip Jordan. Matthew Paul Mackay. Nicholas Anthony Marciano. Zoe Jo McCaskill. Lewis Stephen McKerney. Jessica Ann Moore. Ning Ru Xian Bari, Ong Xian Hui Douglas, Nathaniel Christopher Owen, Jack Pass, Mitchell John Papas, Joshua Francis James Power, Thomas Russell, Samantha Claire Stewart, Sarah Michelle Taggart, Tanji Zhang Edwin, Aidan Luke Taylor, Sarah Dawn Taylor, Louis Alexander Timms, Charles Lyndon Tricoli, Chelsea Taylor Unwin, Sophie Patricia Watts, Jessica Leah Williams, Jin Tung Wong, Sophie Amanda Yakchik, for the degree of Bachelor of Science, Sports Science, Ranald Joseph Rajakanthan. For the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours, Israel Jia N. Tan. Alistair Cecil Gomez. Stephen John Kosovich. Darshini Karlesa. Emma Page Langdon. Basha Saha. Zachary John Bourne. Christine Jacqueline Burke. Ana Maria Cavajal Carrillo. Jessica Cheng. Miles Clifton Dennis. Ho Chun Liang Gordon. Danielle Christina Ireland. Emma Louise Jobson. Claire Young Hyun Kim. Katie Elizabeth Lloyd, Sarah Elizabeth Negus, Glenda O. Guat Kim, Karika Olivier, Lauren Ashley Renders, E. Leon Romero, Tim David Smithies, Clara Ta, Heng Ho Tan, and Liam Connor Tapsell.
On behalf of the University, I confer the degree of Bachelor upon the graduates presented to me by the Pro-Vice Chancellor and Executive Dean of the Faculty of Science. And on behalf of the University, I also confer in absentia respective awards upon those graduates who were unable to be present at this ceremony and whose names are printed in the program. I now invite the Warden of Convocation, Dr. Doug McGee, to welcome today's new graduates.
Fellow graduates, as the Warden of Convocation of the University, I congratulate you on your graduation. As graduates, you join the diverse and incredibly talented alumni of this university. Because of UWA's unique structure and supporting legislation, you also automatically join Convocation, the representative body of the graduates, as lifelong members. As members of Convocation, you now have the right and privilege to share in and contribute to the intellectual and cultural life of the university, and to stand for election to the Council of Convocation and for the 2 places on Senate elected by members of Convocation. As a member of Convocation, you join over 150,000 graduates who have successfully completed their studies at UWA over the past 100 years. The friendships you have developed as a student are fostered within Convocation to support valued lifelong networks. Convocation's members range from young to older, and all are welcome, valued and supported. As time passes after graduation, you'll enjoy seeing and hearing the stories of success of your fellow students. Tonight we've had the pleasure of hearing from Dr. Margaret Byrne, a story of inquiry, discovery and making a difference through science, and she challenged you to do the same. We look forward to telling your story in the future. I welcome you as a new member and encourage you to continue the relationship with the university, which began when you chose to study here and continues as a member of Convocation. Congratulations and best wishes.
Tonight we're celebrating the achievements of our students, and it's right that we should hear a student voice to mark this significant occasion. I'm pleased to invite Mr. Sean Lee, who graduated this evening with the Bachelor of Science with a major in Physiology, to give the valedictory address on behalf of today's graduates.
Chancellor, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, members of Senate, distinguished guests, members of staff, graduates, and their guests. I am proud, humbled, and honored to be speaking on behalf of my fellow graduating class as we stand on the edge of our daunting yet inevitable futures. Many of us will have our minds focused on what lies ahead, but I would like to take a moment to reflect on the journey that has been. Firstly, congratulations. Tough crowd. Congratulations to us for making it here. The fact that we are sitting in this hall tonight is an achievement in itself that nobody can take away from you. But let us not forget the wonderful people that have helped us along the way. Thank you to the legendary lecturers that have bestowed their knowledge upon us over the years. I'm sure the physiology majors will remember one, Peter McFawn, for all the times the Black Knight scene from Monty Python was referenced in a cardiovascular lecture, and every time he said that the crypts of Laber Kun would make a pretty good map in Skyrim. But also the eye drops and the numerous spelling mistakes. Thank you to the tutors who attempted to explain what McFawn's flurry of words actually meant, and thank you to the precious friends who helped explain things that we didn't understand. And let's be honest here, thank you for doing most of the work in group assignments. Thank you to Larry Page, Sergey Brin, Jimmy Wales, and Larry Tesla for filling in the gaps. For those confused, they are the people responsible for Google, Wikipedia, and copy and paste. And lastly, but not least, thank you to our wonderful parents who have supported us and tolerated us for the past 2 decades we have walked this earth. Thank you for feeding me, clothing me, and putting a roof over my head because, well, if not for you, I would not be able to afford any of the above right now. The road to graduation may have been sweet and short or long and arduous, but I think most of us experienced something like this along the way. In first year, we were bubbly, excited, energetic to meet new people and join all the clubs and all day. Partying was key and studying took a backseat priority. But if not by first semester exams, when we walked out of this very hall thinking, oh my God, what just happened? Then surely by the end of the year, we learnt Uni Life Lesson 1. Alcohol consumption is inversely related to academic success. Then we moved on to second year. We officially upgraded from our fresher status, and, well, it instantly went to our heads as we began judging the new freshers on campus for doing the same stupid things that we did the previous year, like actually purchasing new textbooks from Co-op that we would never use again. Second year was also where broadening units were taken, and that's probably where we learned Uni Life Lesson 2. You can always boost your GPA with African drumming. And then we hit third year, and if you're like me and took a double major, well, you were constantly regretting that decision as you slowly lost the will to live. After cramming hundreds of pages of notes the night before tests, burning the midnight oil to finish lab reports only to submit them at 11:59 p.m., and the friction that comes with group assignments, you all know what I'm talking about. Uni Life Lesson 3 was learnt. Coffee is essential for survival. And thus, after thoroughly succumbing to the grind that is third year, you came to a low in your uni career motivation to get out of bed in the morning and dreaded the fight for parking. But after every trough comes a peak. And somewhere, somehow during your study, you began enjoying the content you were learning. It may have been one of your lectures that inspired you, or perhaps you were researching something when you realized how much potential we have as science students to make a difference in this world. And out of all those struggles, all the highs and lows, all the moments of uncertainty for the future, came a dream. In that moment of epiphany, you envisioned a goal, an aspiration, a future that you wanted to make true. And with that dream came the energy, the rigor, the tenacity to work harder. Out of all the things that we have learned from textbooks, labs, and lectures, I think this is the most important Uni Life lesson. Find a dream and work hard for it. It will motivate you, energize you, get you out of bed in the morning instead of hitting snooze on 19 of the 20 alarms you set to get up. Even if you haven't found one yet, that's okay. It's a common problem. Be patient. You will find it. But when it does come, don't be afraid to chase your dreams. Don't be afraid to pursue impossible. As Walt Disney said, all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. So lastly, to my fellow graduates, may your hats fly as high as your dreams. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your participation in tonight's proceedings, which has made it a memorable occasion for all the graduates. And I particularly wish to express the appreciation of all of us to Dr. Margaret Byrne for the graduation address and Sean Lee for the valedictory address which we have just heard. Both of them have enriched these proceedings with their perspectives. To all the new graduates, I offer my warm congratulations. As UWA graduates, your achievements will enhance the reputation of this university. We hope that you will keep in touch with us over the coming years to let us know what you are doing and that you will retain a lifelong connection as a part of the university community. The ceremony is now concluded and I invite you to join us on Whitfield Court for light refreshments. Members of the audience are asked to rise and remain standing in their places until the procession, including the new graduates, has left the hall.